I wish my anger could be sealed and be delivered to the Malacanang.
The passion that's expressed here is from the grassroots, is also shared by the leadership.
First of all, their calamity relief, and second, that they are being treated as criminals and fired upon and surveilled and so forth. So we're very worried about that.
Taskforce holds an annual solidarity and advocacy mission. Since 2012, we have been doing them in Mindanao in partnership with the Philippines, our United Methodist partners in the Philippines.
Kept abreast of the crisis that has unfolded in Kidapawan, Mindanao, and we have joined other United Methodists across our denominational connection in condemning the violence perpetrated by the Philippine National Police against the farmers and indigenous Lumads who gathered to demand that the Philippine government release food aid in the wake of this year's devastating flood.
Thank God for the power of the social media, that through Facebook we were able to be updated about, and because there's seemingly a news blackout.
Most of the people here were on a phone conference about 7 hours on April 1st after we got word, because we saw the urgency to need to respond.
For the past 90 days, they have been without food. They are hungry and without the means to sustain themselves. The blockade they set up on the highway was their urgent appeal to the government to address their needs, which was met not with food, but instead with bullets and bloodshed.
This is, in a way, a terrible wake-up call for us to be more involved in this long-term concern for the struggles of indigenous peoples and the farmers in the Philippines. So,
Jesuits believe that the Christian faith demands a commitment to justice. This means confronting the structures of our world that perpetrate poverty and injustice.
Because there are 3 pregnant women and 4 senior citizens who were apprehended and who are now in jail.
The governmental agencies chose instead to respond with violence that left at least 3 dead and 116 injured is in fact a monstrous violation that must be condemned and, to the extent possible, redressed.
A Christian nation, we are following the mandate of Jesus Christ to be with the marginalized. And yet we are prevented doing so. We are being threatened and harassed.
As followers of Jesus Christ, we recognize the moral imperative of providing food to those who are hungry. Matthew 25, verses 31 through 46.
About you, we're not personally against you. We're not personally against the Philippine Consulate. We are against the ongoing human rights violation in the Philippines, particularly violation against church.
that people of faith should be able to live out their faith, and the common commitment to justice and compassion for all. So anytime this kind of government force, this kind of response happens, we are very, very concerned.
One of the delegates who is coming was on the barricade outside of Spotswood UMC in Kidapawan when out of nowhere the shots were fired. So
we echo the words of our United Methodist Bishop Francisco in his pastoral statement of April 4th. It is never a sin when poor farmers demand for food, but it is a sin to deny them food. And when the might of bullets and guns are used against the poor in their rightful demands for their basic needs, a monstrous violation of what is decent, upright, and just has been
I
committed.
do want to add this one piece, that we are indeed deeply concerned that the people, that the protocols that the government put in place be sensible and compassionate to the people that have been ignored for so long.
right.